I welcome you all to the official YouTube channel of Renaissance Academy. Today here we are going to discuss the 1 mark numerical from GATE 2021. Okay, so here you can see the question. A vertical borehole encounters a shale bed of uniform thickness occurring at a depth of 5 meters and dipping 60 degrees. The borehole pierces through this shale bed for a length of 10 meters to reach a sandstone layer below. The true thickness of the shale bed is fill in the blanks in meter. You need to calculate your answer in meter. Okay. So first try to draw a diagram. Okay. So let's say this is your surface. Then this is your shale bed. And this is your vertical borehole. Now see here. So the bed is dipping 60 degree. Okay. Means this is 60 degree and this is vertical borehole. Now this is piercing from here to up to this. Okay. So this is shale bed and here you have sandstone. Now the borehole pierces through this shale bed for a length of 10 meter, means actually this length is 10 meter. Okay, now if you draw a horizontal line from here, okay, and this is actually your true thickness. Let's say this is your x. You need to calculate the x true thickness. Okay, so let's say this is your 90 degree and this angle is 60 degree. Okay, because corresponding angles are equal. This angle and this angle should be equal, 60 degree corresponding angle. If this is 90 and this is 60, so obviously here this angle should be 30 degree. Okay, angle sum property. Then by because alternate angles are equal, so this angle is 30 degree. Okay, okay, now see. So now in triangle, okay, let's say this is your right angle triangle, this is your 10 meter, and this side you need to calculate. X is your true thickness and this angle is 30 degree. Okay, so apply sine theta. So sine theta is equal to perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So your perpendicular is x, hypotenuse is 10. Okay, and sine 30 degree. Sine 30 degree is equal to x by 10. Okay, so 1 by 2 sine 30 1 by 2 x by 10. So you will get x is equal to 5 meter. Clear? So this is how you need to calculate this question. Then now moving on to next question. The mass and volume of fully dried soil sample are 2200 gram and 1100 gram, centimeter cube respectively. If the specific gravity of the soil particle is 2.5 and water density is 1 gram per centimeter cube, the void ratio of the soil is fill in the blank, round up to 2 decimal place. Okay, so here first consider First consider mass of soil particle. Mass of soil particle. Okay. Mass of soil particle, let's say MSP. Okay. Is equal to, you can say WSP, weight of soil particle, is given. It is 2200 gram. Okay. Now you know total volume is given. Okay. So let's say VT, total volume is 1100. Okay. Centimeter cube. Now the specific gravity is given. Okay. Let's say specific gravity. What is the formula for specific gravity? Specific gravity is equal to density of soil. Okay. Density of soil upon density of water. Density of soil is equal to density of water. Okay. So let's say you have we have 2.5 specific gravity. Okay. Is equal to rho s, density. We don't know density of the soil, so I'm writing rho s divided by density of the water, that is 1. Okay. So now implies that we have density of the soil, which is 2.5. Perfect. Gram per centimeter cube. Yeah. Gram per cc. Okay. Now we have basic formula, that is density is equal to mass upon volume. This is our basic formula. So we can calculate volume of soil particle. Let's say SP, VSP. Okay. So mass upon is volume is equal to mass upon density. So density of soil. So we are calculating volume of soil particle. So mass upon density of soil. Okay. So mass is 2200 divided by 2.5 density. We have just calculated. Okay. After calculating this, we'll get 880 centimeter cube. Now we have volume of soil particle. Okay. Now calculate the total volume. Total volume means volume of soil particle plus volume of void. Okay. Volume of void. So we have total volume, that is given 1100 centimeter cube. Volume of soil particle we have 880 centimeter cube plus volume of void. We can easily calculate volume of void. You will get volume of void is equal to 220 centimeter cube after subtracting 880 from 1100. Okay. Now we have volume of void. Okay. Now we need to calculate void ratio of the soil. Okay. So we know the basic formula, void ratio denoted by E is equal to volume of void. Okay. Volume of void upon volume of soil particle. So volume of void is 220. Volume of soil particle is 880 centimeter cube. Okay. So if we divide this, we'll get 0.25. And this is your final void ratio, 0.25. Okay. Next, moving on to next question. Question number 18 next. The constant head permeability test was performed on a vertical sand column, okay, of height 40 centimeter and cross sectional area of 25 centimeters. During the test, when the loss of head was 50 centimeter, the volume of water collected in 2 minutes was 300 centimeters. Applying Darcy law, the calculated coefficient of permeability of the sand column is fill in the blank centimeter per second. Round up to 2 decimal places. Okay. So now in this question, okay, we need to use Darcy law. Okay. So here we can say that let's say L is given. Okay. So length is 40 centimeter. Then we have area, cross sectional area. Okay. Area is 25 centimeter square. Then we have delta H. Delta H is given, that is 50 centimeter. Then we have Q. Okay, so Q is water collected in 2 minutes was 300 centimeter cube. Okay, means 300 centimeter cube in 2 minutes. Okay, so automatically you will get centimeter cube per minute. Okay, clear? Now we have Darcy law. Okay, now first calculate gradient I. What is I? Formula for I? I is delta H by L. So delta H is 50 centimeter. L is 40 centimeter. You will get 5 by 4. Okay, CM get cancelled. Now you have I. Okay, and now convert this Q. Okay, so Q is 300 centimeter cube. Okay, 2 minutes, but we need to calculate in second. Okay, so 2 minutes means 2 into 60 second. Okay, so if you solve this, you will get 5 divided by 2 centimeter cube per second. Okay, so now you have Q. Now you have all the values. You can easily apply Darcy law. Q is equal to K A I. We need to calculate K. Okay, so convert this formula in form of K. So K is equal to Q divided by AI. Now substitute the value. You have Q 5 divided by 2 centimeter cube per second. Okay, divided by area, that is 25 centimeter square multiplied by gradient, which is 5 by 4. Okay, so if you solve this, you will get a value of K, which is 2 by 25 centimeter per second, which is equivalent to 0.08 centimeter per second. Round off to 2 decimals. This is your final answer. And moving on, next question. Question number 19. The radius r of the oblate spheroid at 45-degree latitude with ellipticity of polar flattening of 1 upon 298.25 and equatorial radius of 6378140 meters. Fill in the blanks kilometer. Round off to 2 decimals. Okay. So first, before solving this question, we need to understand the concept of ellipse. Okay. First, we need to draw a ellipse. Okay. We'll draw here ellipse. Then okay, now let's say here we have spheroid at 45-degree latitude. Okay, so here this angle is 45 degree. It is given. Okay, this is B. Semi major axis and semi minor axis. This is your small a. Okay, let's say this is your B and this point is your A, this point. Okay, so now we can write a coordinates for A that are they are defined, that is A cos theta, okay, for x axis, and for y that is B sin theta. Okay. The coordinates of A. So means you can say xy equal to A cos theta and B sin theta. Okay, so just substitute x is equal to A cos theta. Okay, so means A cos 45 because theta is given, and value of cos 45 is 1 by root 2, means we will get A by root 2. Similarly, if you solve y, that is B sin theta, means B sin 45, we will get B upon under root 2. Okay, now we have x and y coordinate. Okay, here we need to calculate r. Okay, see here, this is your r actually. Now we have A. Okay, and polar flattening is given. So value of A is 6378140 meter. Okay, so if you convert this value into kilometer, okay, you'll get A is equal to 6378.140 kilometer. Okay, now as you can see, the polar flattening is given, means F. Okay, so for polar flattening we have formula F is equal to A minus B by B. Okay, so F value of F is given, so 1 upon 298.25 equal to A, means 6378.140 minus B divided by B, that we need to calculate. Okay, so now you solve this. Okay, so you will get value of B. So your B will come around 6356.82. Okay, now we need to calculate distance BA. This is B and this is A. Okay, by using distance formula. Okay, so B is actually origin, so 0 0, and coordinates of A are A by root 2 and B by root 2. Okay, so with the help of distance formula, okay, we can easily calculate this distance R. Let's say R is equal to under root a by root 2 का whole square. Actually 0 minus a by root 2. Okay, but 0 is negligible. So similarly we'll get b by root 2 whole square. Okay, so if you solve this, we will get a square by b square divided by 2. Okay, now we have the value of a and b. Okay, we have the value of a, that is 6378.140, okay, kilometer, and value of b is 6356.82. Okay, now substitute these values in the given equation. Okay, then square, add, and by taking square root, okay, you will get your final answer, that is r is equal to 6367.46 kilometer. This is your final answer. This calculation little bit lengthy, but with the help of calculator you can easily calculate. Then moving on to next question. Water table in unconfined aquifer at a place near the coast is 1 meter above the main sea level. Given the densities of fresh and saline water as 1.001 and 1.025 gram per cc respectively, the fresh saline water interface at some location should be at a depth of fill in the blanks meter from the water table. Okay, so this is the question based on Heisenberg relation. Okay, given Heisenberg relation. So from hydrogeology, first try to draw a diagram. Let's say this is your surface. This is your sea level. And this is your water table. Okay, so this distance is your hf. Okay, and it is given 1 meter. This is your water table. This is your surface. This is your sea level. Okay, now this is your interface denoted by z. This is sea floor, and this is salt water. Now for calculate this interface z, we have formula, that is rho f divided by rho s, density of fresh water upon density of saline water minus density of fresh water multiplied by height of fresh water, okay, above sea level. So if you calculate, substitute the value, density of fresh water is given 1.001, okay, divided by density of saline water is 1.025 minus 1.001, okay, multiplied by hf is 1. So calculate this, you will get z is equal to 41.7 meter. Okay, but if you read a question carefully, in this question we need to calculate depth from water table. So the depth of from water table. So depth from water table is Z plus HF. Okay, we just calculated Z, that is 41.7 meter, plus HF is given, that is 1 meter. So total 42.7 meter. This is your final answer. 42.7 meter. Then moving on, next question. A volume percentage of galena and quartz in our body of PB are 90 and 10 respectively. Okay. The densities of galena and quartz are 7.6 and 2.65 gram per cc respectively. The grade of ore body in terms of weight percent of PB is. Okay. So we need to calculate the grade in weight percent of PB. Okay. And the atomic weights are given round up to 2 decimal. So first here we need to consider let's say 100 centimeter cube of water. Let's say volume is 100 centimeter cube. Okay. Not water actually, volume percentage. Okay. Let's say assume quantity is 100 centimeter cube. Okay. So in from which galena is 90 and quartz is 10. Okay. Means galena 90 centimeter cube. Okay. And quartz is 10 centimeter cube. Okay. Now we have basic formula, that is mass is equal to density multiplied by volume. Okay. So first calculate mass of galena, PBS. Okay. So density into volume. Density is given, that is 7.6 multiplied by volume is 90. Okay. So now calculate this, multiply this, you will get 684 gram. Okay. Now mass of quartz. Density is again given 2.65 multiplied by 10, will get 26.5 gram. Okay. Now calculate the total mass. Addition of these two, 684 plus 26.5. Okay. We'll get total 17.5 gram. This is your total mass. Okay. Now calculate molar mass. Molar mass of PBS. Okay. So 206 into 1. Okay. 1 atom of PB plus 1 atom of sulfur, 32. Okay. So you'll get molar mass is 238 U. Okay. Atomic mass unit. Now calculate the PB percentage. I will write here. Now calculate PB percentage. So it should be mass of PB. Okay. Mass of PB upon molar mass of PBS. Okay. Formula is given mass upon molar mass multiplied by 100. So now you have mass of PB 206, molar mass of PBS 238 multiplied by 100. So you will get PB percentage 86.55%. Now calculate the grade. Now grade is equal to mass of PBS, okay, divided by total mass multiplied by PB percentage. So here mass of PBS is 684 divided by total mass is 710.5 multiplied by PB percentage 86.55. Okay, so if you solve this, you will get grade is equal to 83.33%, and this is your final answer, 83.33%. Then moving on, next question. Normal move out NMO for reflected phase of seismic data is 2, and then phase of seismic data is 2 milliseconds. Consider the diffraction source at the edge of the same reflector where the short point is directly above diffraction source. In this case, the NMO due to diffraction is fill in the blanks milliseconds in integer. Okay, so first we need to draw a little small diagram so that we can get idea what they are trying to say. Okay, so here they are saying short point is directly above the diffraction source. Okay, let's say this is your short point and this is your diffraction source. Normally what happens, let's say this is your incident ray and this is your reflected, like this normally. Okay, so this should be your source and this should be your, here you should use receiver should be here like this. But in this case, here diffraction, sorry, short point is directly above the diffraction source. Okay, so in that case S and R is coinciding. Okay, so this distance SR is nothing but your offset. So here offset, let's say X is 0. Okay, here your offset is 0. Okay, now in the travel time equation, okay, we have travel time equation, that is T square is equal to T naught square plus X square divided by V square. Okay, so here T is your travel time. Okay, T0 is your reflection time, T naught is your reflection time, then V is your velocity of medium, velocity of medium, X is the distance between source and receiver, source to receiver distance, or you can say offset. Here X is 0. Okay, if you substitute the value of X, okay, we have value of T0 is 2 milliseconds. So T square is equal to 2 square, no sorry, your T0 should be 4 here. Okay, let's say because time to reach source, okay, here in this case first incident, okay, and then reflected, to and fro journey 2 seconds, then return journey 2 seconds, so total 4 milliseconds. Here we need to consider 4 plus X is 0, So 0 square divided by v square. Okay, so this entire term should be 0. Okay, this entire term should be 0. Now we have t square, so t is equal to under root of 16. So you'll get 4 milliseconds. Then moving on, next question. Question number 24. In a 2D seismic survey, first receiver location is at and session. Okay, so locations are given. So first we draw a graph. Okay, something like this. Then so here 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000. Here also 1000, 2000, 3000 and 4000. Okay, so first receiver location is at 1000 meter. So value of x is 1000 meter and y is 4000 meter. So receiver is at the location x 1000 meter, and so here one point should be here. Okay, this is, let's say, P point. Coordinates 1000 and 4000. Then second coordinate, second receiver location is at 2000 and 4000. Value of x is 2000 and 4000. Here, let's say point Q. Coordinates 2000 and 4000. And third is at 2000 meter and 1000 meter. Value of x is 2000. Here, let's say coordinates 2000 and 1000. 2000 and 1000. Okay, so if you join this, okay, like this. First calculate the distance QR. Distance of QR measured on y-axis. Okay, means 4000 minus 1000. 4000 minus 1000. From graph we can calculate the distance, that is 3000. Then calculate PQ. Now PQ is measured on x-axis. So 1000 and 2000. So 2000 minus 1000. We will get 1000. Now with the help of Pythagoras theorem, we can easily calculate PR. Okay, so with the help of Pythagoras theorem, PR square is equal to QR square, okay, plus PQ square. So substitute the value, so we'll get PR square is equal to QR is 3000, so 3000 square plus PQ is 1000 1000 square. So we'll get PR is equal to under root of 9 into 10 to the power 6 plus 10 to the power 6. So if we solve this, you will get 1000 under root 10. Okay, now we have basic formula, that is speed is equal to distance upon time. Okay, so time is equal to distance upon speed, or you can say velocity. Okay, so now we need to calculate the difference in first arrival of time p wave phase for the two receivers. Okay, so one is RQ and one is another one is RP. They are two receivers. Okay, so calculate E is equal to distance upon velocity. So velocity is given 5000 meter per second. Okay, and distance we have just calculated 1000 under root 10 divided by velocity 5000 meter per second. Meter get cancelled. You will get time period in second. So difference. So this is for PR. Okay, this is for PR. And for RQ. Okay, for RQ distance is 3000 meter divided by velocity. You'll get time for this. Okay, so if you solve this, you will get 0.63 minus 0.60. After subtracting, you will get 0.03 seconds. This is your final answer. The difference in first arrival time of P wave phase for the two receiver is 0.03 seconds. Then moving on, next question. Question number 25. Okay, based on Wiener's array. So again, first we need to draw a diagram of Wiener's array. Okay, so let's say here you have voltmeter and here you have ammeter. Now this is your C1 and C2 current electrodes, then P1 and P2 potential electrode. Okay, now this distance is A according to Wiener array. This distance between potential and current electrode is same. So A. Now we have voltage is given, this 500 millivolt. Current is given 2 ampere. Rho resistivity is given 100 ohm meter. Now we have the formula, rho is equal to 2 pi A V by I. Okay, convert this formula in form of A. So A is equal to rho into I divided by 2 pi V. Okay, now first let us understand the SI unit. P is equal to IR. Okay, means V is equal to SI unit for current ampere and for resistance ohm. Okay, so voltage means ampere multiplied by ohm. So if you solve this, V by A, let's say shift A into the left hand side. So V by A is nothing but your ohm, or ohm meter per ohm means A by V. Okay, we need to use this concept. Now use the formula, that is A is equal to 100 ohm meter rho into I, that is value of rho. I is 2 ampere. Okay, then divided by 2 multiplied by 3.14, 2 pi V. Okay, V is 500 millivolt. Okay, so milli means 10 to the power minus 3 volt. So A by V means here per ohm and per ohm get cancelled. Okay, so you only left with meter. So now if you solve this, you will get 200 upon 3.14. Okay, A by V means per ohm. Okay, here you have A, here you have V. A by V means per ohm, and per ohm and this ohm get cancelled. Okay, now you only left with meter. So now after solving this, you will get value of A is equal to 63.69 meter, but this is value of A. But in the question, we need to calculate distance between current electron. So distance between current electrode means C1 to C2. So this total distance is 3A, means 3 multiplied by value of A, that is 63.69 meter. Okay, so after multiplying with 3, you will get your final answer, that is 191.08 meter. This is your final answer. So this is the last question of GATE 2021 of 1 mark. Okay, we'll meet soon, or I will upload the video for 2 marks numerical very soon. Thank you.